figured why not just finish the last of the Jackie Chan collection, the VHS collection, right here in the same setting. And in any future videos, I really don't want to be focusing right here, but right now, I figured I started the DVDs because they were right here, and this is how it is. And it was easier to lay them out when showing, reach over and get them off the shelf. So I just stuck with it, so I might change it in the future, but for now, I haven't put anything away yet. But it's cool. This is what it's all about, all of this. But it's not what life's about, but it's a very enjoyable hobby of mine. So, first starting with the Jackie Chan box set collection with Who Am I, Miracles, and Gorgeous. 2005 Christmas time, I got a VHS player, brand new, and the only one I hadn't seen yet was Gorgeous, so I first watched it on a brand new VHS player. Miracles I had is Black Dragon on DVD. I got that a couple years before. Who Am I got several years before that. My brother got that, as I got my favorite movie, the one that we rented nonstop. I know there's a sticky tag on it, and that's Twin Dragons. And that was a list I had, and I never took it off, but there's a list of movies I was trying to get, the ones I didn't have, also from Dimension Home Video. I love this version, but I'm happy to have the Chinese version now as well. I will continue to keep this. This is my first Jackie Chan VHS, basically, and I think that's why it's my favorite. I love everything about it. Someday I'll have to do a why I love this movie type of thing. So that's Twin Dragons. So my brother had Who Am I got Twin Dragons. My other brother actually gave me this box set. He had it and just said here, and then not too long after it was Christmas, I got the VHS player, watched Gorgeous. So that's how I got that. One that's not liked as much, The Prisoner. It's not a complete Jackie Chan film. It's supporting characters from Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, and Andy Lau. Sammo Hung and Andy Lau are on the side. Tony Leung is the main star of the film, really. So, Kai Fa, I think. Yeah, it's not there's two Tony Leungs, Chinese actors, but that's The Prisoner. That's the first time I watched that was on here. And Gen X Cops and Gen Y Cops. Now, Gen X Cops is better. It's a better film. Sequel doesn't live up to the first. Presented by Jackie Chan, both of these. I guess he put his name on it, kind of like he kind of gave it the go-ahead, or kind of put his name on it to support it. He doesn't have a cameo in the sequel, but he does in the first. And the first one's just a lot better than this one. This is a lot more cartoony elements to it, and I tend not to like that after a serious film, and then you make borderline comedy in some ways. Some of the action's good, but for the most part, Gen X Cops is the better. I have a lot of movies in storage, a lot of my Jackie Chan films, because I have Rush Hour 2 in there. But this is Rush Hour. I actually saw this after I saw Rush Hour 2, so the second one's actually my favorite, but this is probably everyone else's favorite. I don't know. This is not Snake in Eagle Shadow. This is In Eagle Shadow Fist. Takes place during World War II, I think. Jackie Chan was like 20 when he did this. I know the case is a little fainted, but got this at a flea market basically for like 10 cents or something. The guy was, I think it was 10 for $1, and I found this one. And this is one of the ones that was in a rental case growing up at my rental shop, and this is the same edition of that rental copy. A lot of these Jackie Chan 70 films were like these types of cases, or like paintings or whatever. So I figured I got all these VHS. The reason I still have all these is for collector's sake anyway. So, and I do watch some of these from time to time. Recently I watched Gen X Cops, and I chose to watch it on the VHS. Watched all the trailers. Did the same with Eagle Shadow Fist, and my Crime Story and City Hunter, Operation Condor. I watched all these recently on video. This is a year for VHS plays, that's for sure. I watch a lot of VHS all the time. Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin. These 70s Jackie Chan films came out again. A lot of them came out in these types of cases, but then there was like this sort of, the Platinum series, I guess, where they released them through with these types of cases. It was black, had a dragon in the back, or some sort of mark from like Asian culture. This actually has a interview with, includes a an interview with Jackie Chan where he discusses his career satisfaction. Yeah, so this is there's an interview that was filmed around the time Super Cop came out in America. The same interview is also on my Legend of Drunken Master DVD as a bonus feature. It's a good interview. Probably these two from New Line Video, Police Story and Police Story 2. These are the, if I had to pick the best representation of them, in my opinion, next to Twin Dragons, because that's my favorite. I'll throw that in with these two, but the music for these films by J. Peter Robinson. He recorded his own score for the films. We didn't have the original songs by Jackie Chan, or the dialogue was sort of different. There were scenes taken out for these releases, but aside from that, that's typically what I get mad about. The fact that we got these movies, but we got them at half price almost, because I say that because we got edits. We didn't get the original versions 100% of the time. But the Police Story movies, when they came out in New Line, I really liked. I liked the cases, but I liked the movies because the dubbing for all the characters, I didn't have a problem with any of the dubbing in either of these films. I loved the music as itself. Like, that could have been for any Jackie Chan movie. And while I like the original soundtrack, but I like J. Peter Robinson's soundtrack for these. He did a good job. He worked on a lot of these movies. I think he worked on Born to Defend with Jet Li. I want to say he worked on that. I'm not sure. But a lot of these movies, like I think Rumble in the Bronx, they used the score for Rumble in the Bronx as well as First Strike. I think a lot of that was mixed in with these. They recycled a lot of the same score from him, but he basically wrote them for these releases of these movies. But these are like perfect in my eyes with the way the quality. They're pretty cleaned up, these versions, and the music score, the dubbing, even parts they edited out, some fight scenes, some extra funny scenes I remember, but still the movie didn't seem like it lacked a lot, even though there was stuff missing. So I really appreciate the way they presented these. The only thing I don't understand is why, first of all, Super Cop and First Strike, Police Story 3 and 4, were released here in the States. Why were Police Story 1 and 2 not? And why didn't Jackie Chan, why wasn't he dubbing these two? Did he only have so many that he could dub or had time? I don't know why these two weren't, because these are his big movies. And New Line owned them. He dubbed the other New Line films, like Thunderbolt. I think Thunderbolt, maybe not. Rumble in the Bronx he did, Mr. Nice Guy, and First Strike he did. So I'm not sure, but regardless, I'm happy with it. So anyway, I like the color scheme of the cases and everything. I remember getting this one in my Easter basket. But yeah, I'd love to have these copies on DVD as well as the originals. Like, I got the Dragon Dynasty, those are basically the originals. But I would like to have these on DVD so I can watch both versions because I really like them once. So yeah, those are probably my three favorites. And a close fourth would be Crime Story. I really like the way that was presented. And Operation Condor and a rental case. These are all rental cases. These were all films that we were actually rented, and then we ended up buying the same copies, which is great because now we own a piece of our rental shop, and you know, to keep the memories alive and collectors' sake, I suppose. But not only that, but our childhood. But Operation Condor came out the year I was born, originally. It was re-released over here years later, but this is my favorite of the two Armor of God films. Actually, I think this was under a different name. This was a rental from the previous owners of the rental shop, and then it was under a new name. Yeah, Movies is what it was. But when I grew up, it had changed. I remember it slightly as Movies, and then it shortly after it changed to Video Update, and then again to Movie Gallery, which was one of the last that I know, the last surviving movie rental stores at the Tuxedo. I remember getting this one, and this was, I think, Video Update. And I remember renting this when I turned, I think, 12. And it was just something I'd seen the comedy in Twin Dragons, but this was like so goofy and I loved it. And then when I found out they were selling it, and then I got it, so I'm glad. And Crime Story, one of probably my top 5 favorite Jackie Chan films, from Dimension Video 398. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've watched that. This very copy. This year, I watched it. I chose to watch that over the DVD. Same with this. Even though I had this one for the Fortune Star 20th Century Fox release, I just got it here. But well, that's the VHS collection. It's not in storage, and if I ever get more, I'll update it again. But that's the collection. And I think when I did my DVD update, I think I might have missed some DVDs because they weren't on the shelf at the time, and then I realized later this one was. But I actually have a burnt copy of The Myth. One of my brothers got me years ago, and I never stumbled upon it or found it in a store. I don't remember that I could have bought it after it was released here. So I have a burnt copy of the Chinese edition. So it's actually in here. So I do have The Myth, and I really like it. A lot of people, I guess, don't care as much for that one, but an underrated film, Magnificent Bodyguards. Needs cleaned up. I wish it would have been released with these, but I really hope to eventually get a copy of this that's cleaned up. I know the Blu-ray from Japan is cleaned up, but if you watched my videos, you heard me talk about those. They're expensive, and a lot of them don't have English subs, so, but I have that, so that's the collection. Stay tuned for another update sometime soon. And following soon, maybe a Jackie Chan overall all the items I have. I'll skim through the movies one more time again and then show off anything extra I have, like posters, books, toys, anything like that.